Hello, space fans. Welcome to Space Command. My name's Brian, and you're in for a special treat today as we go on location to the Tulsa Air and Space Museum. This is for a special presentation by a true American hero, NASA astronaut and Apollo 10 crew member, General Tom Stafford. The ribbon cutting is for a new exhibit focusing on the Apollo era, featuring an Apollo crew capsule donated by General Stafford to the museum. I got the rare opportunity to ask a few questions of him, and you can see at age 89, he's still sharp as a tack. General Stafford is a member of the Space Hall of Fame, and not only a NASA astronaut on the Apollo 10 mission, but also he was on Gemini 6, Gemini 9, and he was on board for the historic Apollo-Soyuz rendezvous and docking. So that's pretty awesome. Well, before we join NASA astronaut General Stafford, I want to remind you that it's been 3,022 days since the United States has been able to launch American astronauts on American spacecraft to space. The last time we did that was in 2011 when the space shuttle Atlantis landed for the last time for its final mission, and it's now on display at the Kennedy Space Center. Well, now, ever since then, we have had to send our astronauts to the International Space Station on board Russian Soyuz capsules for $86 million per seat. $86 million. Well, let's talk about some space weather. Today on Mars, the sol day is 2567, and the high temperature is -5 degrees Fahrenheit. The low temperature is -110 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather is sunny, and the sun rose this morning at 5:51, and the sun's going to set this evening at 5:35. Well, the UV ultraviolet radiation index is moderate, which is not so good. So you're going to want to make sure that you bring some sunblock, some sunglasses, and a coat. -5 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely going to need a coat. All right. Well, let's go ahead and join General Tom Stafford at the Tulsa Air and Space Museum for this ribbon cutting ceremony.
It's good to see everybody. Excellent.
Excited.
Thank you guys for coming out today. We wanted to put this together because at the end of the day we wanted to show General Stafford our appreciation. We consider the command module our crown jewel of this exhibition, and we couldn't have our crown jewel without General Stafford. It came from his museum and he was instrumental in giving it to us. So I want to take the time today to just recognize him, everything he's accomplished with the Apollo programs, everything he's accomplished as an Oklahoman, and furthermore everything that he's allowed us to accomplish here at TASM. So thank you guys for coming. If you haven't noticed already, we're really trying to move forward in this bright new direction, and I think this Apollo exhibition is part of that. So I'm going to let you guys hear General Stafford speak for a little bit, and Tanya, our executive director, is here as well. So please feel free to hear General Stafford speak, and then afterwards, if you want to take a look around, General Stafford has a presentation that we can check out in our Apollo Theater over here, and you can feel free to just enjoy the museum and enjoy this exhibition. So I'm going to let General Stafford speak, and then we'll cut the ribbon. Thank you, guys.
Is the mic on?
It should be. Can we test?
Well,
Okay,
good
right.
afternoon.
Okay.
It's really great to be here in Tulsa. I'm sorry I didn't bring my 85-degree Florida weather with me. But I'm understands what the weather is in Oklahoma, believe me. And, you know, I think the words of the late author, the great author, writer, Arthur C. Clarke, he wrote that 1,000 years from now, when historians look back upon the 20th century, they'll note several major events. They'll notice, yes, we had 2 major world wars among developed countries in the Northern Hemisphere, but the one thing that they will remember more than anything will be the Apollo program and the landings on the moon. And a key part of the Apollo program was the Apollo command module, where the crew was to launch, to enter, and spend most of the time. And then for the short period of time, 2 crew members went in the lunar module and then down to the lunar surface, back to the command module. But this was the key. And of course the key too was building this giant Saturn V booster, the biggest booster ever built. And fortunately, some of the key parts of that was built in Tulsa. If you look at this drawing over here, you see most of those black parts? Those were built here by North American Aviation, and later on is known as North American Rockwell, right here on the airport. And there's some other structural beams and machining in there. Also the cone at the top that contained the went between the 3rd stage and the command module, service module, contained the lunar module. It was a composite type of device, which is way the leading part of technology at the time. That was built by North American Rockwell here in Tulsa. And so it was, you see, we were an integral part of that giant booster, which was, all of them just worked super. So when this command module was built by Mr. Paul Dewhurst and a group in New South Wales, Australia, to drawings and specs of the Apollo, along with some other things. I was able to buy a whole series of them for a real good price at one time. And it was in the Weatherford Museum for 2001 until we shipped it up here when we were able to get a full command and service module. We had just a command module. And so when Max Airy said we worked to get this command and service module, so he said, well, what do we do with the other command module? We don't need 2 of them. I said, well, why don't we send that to Tulsa? Because Tulsa did so much for the Apollo program. They've got a great aerospace museum up there. You like to help fellow aerospace museums all you can, so let's send it to Tulsa. And so they did. And so it's here. And again, it's one of the great milestones of history. And you know, I go back to, any of you have been to Egypt, been down the Nile River, been to the Valley of the Kings or Abu Simbel in China, you'll notice that 2,000 and 3,000 years ago in recorded history on the stone paintings and carvings, there's always different pictures of the moon. So the moon was a major thing to all the people from the start. And so I was a little boy out in western Oklahoma, we'd sleep outside at night. We didn't have any air conditioning. And we'd look up and see the moon. I never knew I'd have a chance to fly there, but unfortunately I did. And the thing is just a great thing. I was very fortunate too that I flew 2 missions in a command module. One Apollo 10, commanded Apollo 10 to the moon, the first lunar module to the moon. And fortunately, it was too heavy to land the lunar module. Where I went down to 9 miles above the moon and photo mapped, and radar map, vision map, picked out the landing site of ellipse. And then 2 months later, my buddy Neil Armstrong used the same procedures we use, except he had a lightweight lunar module. When he landed, he had 17 seconds of fuel when he landed. But he made it, and it set history. So on the way back, this command module like this came in. My crew on Apollo 10, John Young, Gene Cernan, we set the all-time world speed record, 24,791 miles an hour, or in Mach number, I like to use Mach 36, which is pretty fast. You want to be scientific. In the speed of light, it's 0.0037% of the speed of light. So we were flat moving. And we came across America Samoa. We had a big fireball behind us, about several miles long as we were coming in. But the command and service, command module just worked beautiful. So it really is a major milestone in the progress of mankind as we've gone, and it's gone for humans further and faster than anything we've ever had. So I think it's fitting that it should be here in the Tulsa Air Space Museum, particularly since Tulsa's a facility here built some of the key parts of that giant booster that made it possible for us to go here. So I'm real happy it's here, and there's some pictures and things. I'm leaving with Tanya that she can print. You'll see a lot more pictures here. It's going to be a great exhibit, so I'm just so happy it's here. It's got a good home. So great to be here to officially cut the ribbon and say, here's a gift for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're trying to always have somebody have the other end.
Perfect.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
General, do you think the next generation understands what happened during the Apollo mission? I mean, obviously they see it in history books, but do you think they fully get it?
No, I don't think they understand the competition between the Soviet Union and the United States. How the Soviet Union was trying to leap ahead to show the world that their form of government and what they possessed was the way to go for the future for the world. And so it was really we call it soft power. It wasn't hard power like weapons or bombs. It was soft power. And Kennedy understood it real well. So did Vice President Johnson. And the head of NASA, Jim Webb, who was from Oklahoma, who had worked for Senator Bob Kerr, had been formerly director of OMB. So they understood it real well.
Do you, we often hear about talk to go back and things. Do you think we have the political will like we did back then?
We don't have the pressure from the Soviet Union, and politics has become very fragmented compared to the way it was at that time. I hope we would. The committees in the Congress that deal with space and technology, they have the will. But does the total Congress? It's going to be hard to say. In the past, usually they have. It's been the executive branch. It's been the president, to put it bluntly, that hasn't had the vision or the will.
Do you still look up at the moon and
Oh, absolutely.
think about it?
Yeah. But I'm so glad to be here in Tulsa and dedicate this gift to the Tulsa Air and Space Museum. I bought this along with some other artifacts that were manufactured in Australia in 2001, and we gave them to the Air and Space Museum in my hometown, in Weatherford, Oklahoma. And now we have a complete command and service module. And this is just a command module, so we don't need two command modules. So I said there's so many great parts of that giant booster, the Saturn V, the biggest booster in the world, that was built right here by Oklahomans in Tulsa. So this is the place to be. We got a great aerospace museum here in Tulsa. So this is the place for us. I'm so glad we could donate it.
I was just going to say, do you think that the pressure from China's aspirations in space is having an effect on why we're talking about going up there again?
It will have some. I don't know if it'll be, because it was just a bipolar world when we were there. It's too hard to say. The main thing, does the president have the vision and the willpower to carry it through? Most presidents have, but unfortunately a couple of them didn't. And that's why we're in a situation today, even though we're building a big booster, it still doesn't have the power that the Saturn V has. And that's due to the results of a couple of presidents not having division.
Is it upsetting? I mean, we don't even have shuttles up there anymore. Does it upset you?
Yeah, sure it does. Because here we're the greatest country in the world, the greatest gross domestic product, the greatest technically. Yet it's been 10 years, first 2 years after the Columbia accident, now 8 years after Obama shut down the shuttle, that we've had to pay the Russians to carry our astronauts into space and our other colleagues on the International Space Station. And it's just, now the Russians have done a very good job for us. But here I can't believe that our country would not have a simple ferry vehicle to take crew up and down.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get these microphones going.
General, I was wondering, when you went over to the Soviet Union for the mission where you linked up the two capsules, did you have to learn Russian?
Yes, I did.
You did.
Which is, of the 4 missions I flew, the training for that was the roughest, not technically.
Uh-huh.
All to me, I just did things technically real easy. But the big thing with my Oklahoma accent was learning Russian. And my colleague, General, well then it was Colonel Alexei Leonov says, oh, we speak 3 languages on this mission. We speak English, we speak Russian, and we speak Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
We call it Oklahoma school.
All right. All right. Well, so yeah, you were speaking earlier. It's been 3,022 days since we've been able to send an American astronaut on American spacecraft to space. Of the new capsules that they're developing, the SpaceX's Crew Dragon, Boeing Starliner, and the Orion Crew Capsule. Which one do you like best?
Well, I'm not been that much involved with them as such. I've been involved as far as my volunteer work. I was impressed to do was just the space station to look at safety and operational readiness. So I've not been involved. Now the Orion spacecraft is designed to go to the moon and Mars.
Right.
But the other 2 are designed just to go into low Earth orbit or to go to the space station.
Right. Well, you've been to the moon in one of these capsules. Can you imagine riding to Mars in a capsule?
Well, I can imagine launching and returning, but you need kind of a habitat to give you a little more room.
A little more room.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And probably a little more shielding from radiation too.
Oh yes, absolutely. All right. Well, that's pretty much the questions I had. Thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank NASA astronaut General Tom Stafford for his generosity and for his expertise. And he donated that Apollo command module or capsule to the Tulsa Air and Space Museum. So thank you very much for that. And also thanking the Tulsa Air and Space Museum for their hospitality. If you are in the area and have a chance to stop by, I strongly suggest that you visit the Tulsa Air and Space Museum. It's an excellent facility and you'll get a lot out of it. All right. Well, more exciting news. NASA has invited us, Space Command, to apply for a press pass or a social media pass to NASA's Kennedy Space Center on December 4th, 2019 to experience and document the launch of the SpaceX CRS-19 mission, where SpaceX will launch a Falcon 9 rocket with a cargo Dragon capsule on top. To deliver supplies to the International Space Station. This is part of the commercial resupply program So with help from your financial support and my Patreon supporters, we'll be able to fly out to Florida and secure accommodations for a few days, and then return home and put together a broadcast documenting the experience for you. So thank you for your support, and if you like this video, click like, and if you'd like to see more videos like this one, click subscribe. Alright, until next time, thank you.